Well, over the next 48 hours, there's quite a lot of interesting weather happening, and some of it's not going to be too good either. We've got a yellow weather warning out, and that's for the severe gales or storm force winds that are going to be arriving tomorrow. But we'll get to that in just a moment. This is for tonight. You can see this is 9 p.m. this evening, and you can see this low pressure that's starting to push in from the northwest. And as it does so, the winds start to increase. So you can see these colours intensifying here. In fact, if we zoom in just a little bit here, you can see these colours getting darker, and as we head through into, well, this is 9 a.m. tomorrow, I mean, these colours are really quite dark, so we've got some really strong winds moving through. And this will continue really through most of the day, but the strongest winds will be from any time from 9 a.m. through to about 3 p.m, 4 p.m. But then we've got something else happening. Behind it, the winds get a lot lighter, or at least for a time, but we get this next area of rainfall starting to move in. This is at 9 p.m. tomorrow evening, and we've got this area of low pressure, you see, will have developed, and it's going to be running east to just to the south of the English Channel. If we had colder air embedded over us, like maybe if it was January, say, we'd expect a lot of snow from this. But the air's not that cold, but it's chilly. So this is 3 a.m. tomorrow morning. A lot of precipitation over us. But some of the models are a bit confused about this, but it's starting to turn to snow just to our north here. Now, as we head through to 6 a.m. and then 9 a.m, it starts to turn to snow even over in our area here. But by this time, the precipitation is starting to get quite a lot lighter. But even it does stay with us, though, you know, up until about midday possibly, and it's still showing that it could be snowfall. So we'll get into the more detailed part. So tonight, the first half of the night anyway, there's some showery rain starting to move in from the southwest. Now, as these first showery outbreaks start to move through, it's cold enough for a little bit of sleet in a few places in central and northern parts of the island. But this won't hang around, and the temperatures will start to rise, and the winds will be light and variable, becoming light to moderate. And as they do so, and while at the moment they're still light northerly in quite a lot of places, but they're about to turn around to the south and start to pick up. And the temperatures will rise, especially on the coast here, to 4 or 5, maybe 6 degrees. Still quite chilly inland until we move into the second half of the night, when the wind starts to really pick up off the sea. And as it does so, we'll see temperatures rising 8, maybe 9 degrees Celsius. Maybe is not quite as high up in the northern parts of the island, so 6 or 7 possibly. But there's going to be a lot of rainfall. Some of this rain will be really quite heavy, and and that will last pretty much through the entire second half of the night into tomorrow morning. But then, as the morning goes on, the heaviest rain starts to move away. But as it starts to move away, we see a few showers moving through in its place. But as these move through, there's going to be some really strong gusts starting to develop. So we're seeing the winds increasing from gale to storm force, and we're going to be seeing gusts up to around 70 miles per hour at times. As we head through into the afternoon, the wind's still very, very strong to start off with, possibly up to 70 mile an hour in more exposed parts, and there'll still be a few showers moving through. There could be the odd brighter spell as well. It's not going to be completely overcast. It's likely that we will see a few sunny spells developing in the odd place, but there'll still be some showery rain around as well. Now, as we head through into tomorrow night, this is where things start to change. We've got more cloud pushing in. Now, as this cloud pushes in, colder air starts to dig in from the north, and the winds will be turning around to the northeast, and they'll be fresh increasing to strong at this point. The temperatures will start to fall away to the first half of the night, well, the first couple of hours at least, it'll be 5-6 degrees. But as the night goes on, it'll drop into 4, 3, then 2, and as this happens, the rain will be turning to sleet, and maybe even a little bit of snow in a few higher, on some of the higher hills, mostly in the south and west of the island here. Now, as we head through into Monday morning, this is where it gets a bit complicated. We're not 100% sure what is going to happen, because it's a very borderline event. What we mean by that is the temperature is going to be very close. So it's either going to be a fraction too high, or should I say a fraction lower, and it will produce the snow. So we're looking like some rain and sleet moving down across the island throughout tomorrow morning at least, and it will be likely to turn to snow in a few places. Now, we're not really expecting a covering, but we may see a bit of a covering on the hills in western and southern parts of the island. Maybe a slight dusting across Breydon Downs, but Breydon Downs isn't quite as high as the hills around Ventnor and Tennyson and out west here. But anyway, that's all for the moment. We'll give you more updates as always, and yeah, goodbye for now.